Jiven here, welcome to another video. As you can see by the title, today I'm going to be doing a part 2 to my transferring creative skills to arena video. First, I'll talk about how my piece control has improved so much because of creative. Then I'll talk about how my duo chemistry got so much better from practicing in my creative maps. Then we'll be talking about whether you should be using Kovacs or in-game aim trainers, and a few extra things at the end. Let's hop right into it. So first thing I want to take a look at is my piece control improvement. As a lot of you know, I run a warm-up almost every single day in creative. I either use Raider's piece control practice map or his box fight practice map. For the longest time, running these courses was just a warm-up, warm up my fingers before I hop into arena so I'm not choking edits and stuff like that. But anytime I ran through those creative maps, I always made sure to set up right-hand peaks and to try to piece control perfectly without exposing myself. And sure, running through these maps definitely helped my piece control, and it helped to get me warmed up for arena. But just recently, I decided to take a look at my old clips from before I started this warm-up to my clips today. And what I noticed was an extreme improvement in piece control. And specifically, I was doing moves that I practice every single day in these warm-up maps that I probably wouldn't have been able to do if I hadn't practiced in these maps for a while. So this made me realize that if you want to get better in arena, you need to be specifically warming up with things that you can't already do. Make a specific warm-up routine for you that focuses on the things that you struggle with. For example, I struggled to do certain piece control techniques. When it comes to piece control in-game, it's all instinctual, you do it by habit. The way you build those habits is by practicing in creative. If you struggle with piece control, I definitely recommend running a piece control warm-up every single day until you feel like you're at the point where you can piece control instinctually. What I mean by this is you should practice in these creative maps until when you're in-game, you don't even have to think anymore, you can just do the piece control. I finally gotten to the point where I can piece control instinctually, but I still choke a lot of edits, so it's important for me to get warmed up every single day. That's the one thing that's holding me back, is me choking edits. I'm definitely getting better with it, but I can use some more practice. If you want to start gaining more arena points, you need to figure out what you're struggling with more than anything. Whether it be aim, piece control, fighting sense, or whatever it may be, you should try to figure it out and add it to your warm-up routine. A lot of people say that warm-ups don't help them, but they probably just aren't warming up right. If you have weaknesses in the game, creative is the place to improve those. So sit down, maybe watch back some of your gameplay, and try to figure out why you're dying in certain situations. And then figure out a way you can add like 10 minutes to practice that in your warm-up. So let's say you're struggling with aim. You can either practice your aim using Kovacs, Aim Labs, whatever aim trainer you want. But here's my thoughts on Kovacs and all that stuff. From my personal experience, I think Kovacs is really good if you're new to keyboard and mouse. It helps you improve your mouse control and kind of gain comfort moving around the mouse. It can honestly help you with any game if you're struggling to control the mouse. But if you have good mouse control, but you're struggling with hitting your shots like in 50-50s and stuff, you should probably be using an in-game aim trainer, like in a creative map. The one that helped my AR tracking a lot, which is like, hitting AR shots from a distance, was called Skaavok. It's a creative map, I'll link it in the description. And then the one that helped me with my 50-50 aim when I'm up close in a box with somebody, Duels helped me out a lot with that. I'll link that one in the description as well. But if you're just new to keyboard and mouse and just struggle to control it entirely, maybe Kovacs and Aim Labs or whatever other program you use can definitely help you out. I personally don't use Kovacs anymore because I feel like I gained really good mouse control. I just practice using the in-game aim trainers. So if you're struggling with aim in-game, if that's a reason you're dying a lot of the time, you should definitely add creative maps and maybe some Kovacs to your warm-up routine. Just keep in mind what I said. Practice your weaknesses, add your weaknesses to your warm-up, and eventually they'll become strengths. And while you're in arena games, try to focus on those weaknesses and do better at them. If you have those weaknesses on your mind while you're playing arena, you'll probably start to just naturally improve at them, especially if you add them to your warm-up routine every single day. Like I said before, my biggest struggle was piece control in arena. I noticed that I kept missing little builds in piece control, and they'd be able to slip out of those missed builds that I messed up and didn't place. But recently, I've been trying to focus a lot on my piece control in fights more than anything. And over the past couple weeks, I just noticed a ton of improvement, and you can probably see it in these clips. I try to get in the mindset like I'm playing in creative when I'm taking these fights in arena. This helps me not stress out, and it helps me focus on what I'm trying to practice, which is piece control. And as of recently, I've been gaining so much confidence because of this mentality. I've talked about this in a couple other videos, but I'll just go over it real quick again. How can you fight more confidently and have a better mentality in early, mid-game, and late-game fights? Here's the answer real quick. Early game fights are like box fight situations. You need to be playing angles, conserving mats, and trying to end the fight fast without using many resources. I try to picture myself in a box fight scenario anytime I'm in early game. Mid-game fights are just like creative build fights or realistic fights. Try to get in the mindset of piece controlling in a build fight. Just pretend like you're build fighting the best player you ever build fought before and try to outplay him by piece controlling him, setting up peek shots, and getting cheeky angles. Try to end the fight fast within like 15 seconds, and if you don't, maybe drop down and start box fighting so that you don't have to worry about third parties or getting broken out and dying to fall damage. I try to picture myself in creative like I'm build fighting my duo. I do that every single day before I start playing arena. So I just get in that mindset, do some of my best, retakes, piece control moves, and I try to end it fast. And if I don't, I start up a box fight situation. And then late game fights, that's just like a box fight scenario. You can push from box to box of people who are just sitting, camping for placement, and initiate a box fight scenario. Only difference is you need to be aware of third parties. So anytime I'm in late game, I just base up next to the person I'm trying to fight so that I'm protected from all angles, and then I get in that box fight mentality and I try to get some nice shots on them. And then once it gets to moving zones, it's just like Zone Wars. Try to get in that Zone Wars mentality. Anyways, let's talk about the next thing, which is building team chemistry in creative. This brings us way back, and some of you might not have been around when I made this map, but it's called a duo piece control map. The code's going to be in the description. Basically, in this map, one person should be spraying at the walls while the other person grabs missing builds and piece controls and then sets up peek shots for their teammate. If you and your duo struggle to fight together, I definitely recommend going and watching my duo piece control video. This map made it so that me and my duo had great chemistry. We started out from square zero, brand new teammates, and so I built this map to help us improve. Basically, you just want to be practicing working together to shoot all the targets and piece control everything. Set up roles, have one person be the piece controller while the other person is the supporter who sprays and takes shots at the enemies. I'm going to try to make a new piece control map with new guns and new courses for you guys soon, but I figured I'd mention this old map just for those of you that missed out on it in the past. It helped me and my duo so much, so it might be able to help you guys out too. Same within trios, because trios is like the same thing, two people can be duo piece controlling while the other person's spraying from a distance. Main thing about trios is work together and make sure that you're sticking close and communicating at all times. Anyways, that map code's going to be in the description, also a link to the video where I explain how to use the map the best. Another thing I want to mention about creative is that it's the place where you should be learning all the fundamentals. If you're new to the game or you're just stuck in Contenders League, that means you're probably missing some of the biggest fundamentals of fighting and building and editing and piece controlling. So people come to my chat all the time and they say, I'm stuck in Contenders, what am I struggling with? How can I get to champs? And my biggest piece of advice for all of them is just work on your mechanics, which is building, editing, aiming, all that stuff, and try to get those to the next level. You're stuck in Contenders for a reason, You're probably not winning a lot of fights. The way you're going to improve fighting is practicing box fights, build fights, running edit courses, making sure that you're practicing all your mechanics. And then with time, you'll get to the next level, and that's when you'll be able to hit champs easily every single season. So if you're stuck in contenders, just take it back a notch and go work in creative for a while. Figure out what you're struggling with, why you're dying, whether it be missed shots, choked edits, and go back to creative and practice. It doesn't mean you can't run arena, it's just you should definitely spend a lot more time in creative, because that's the place where you can get the fastest paced practice, and the place where you can see the fastest improvements in your mechanics and stuff like that. Because if you can't execute that stuff in creative, you're not going to be able to execute it in arena. So anyways, I hope this didn't have too much overlap to my last creative video. People said they wanted another one, and so I hope I brought some fresh new ideas on the plate here. Let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want to see in the future. Like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.